What's up guys and girls, it's Vision, welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist, an indie Metroidvania with some serious Souls-like influences. If you're into exploration-heavy games with smooth mechanics, challenging bosses, and beautiful worlds, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Before we jump in, don't forget to like this video if you find it helpful, and subscribe for more indie game coverage. Also check out the About section of this channel for my streaming schedule. I'd love for you to join me live for more indie game adventures. Alright, let's get started. First off, let's dive into the gameplay, because that's the heart of Ender Magnolia. This is classic Metroidvania territory, uncovering areas of the map, unlocking new abilities to access previously unreachable places, and tackling some tough-as-nails bosses. If you're familiar with the genre, you'll feel right at home here. A key mechanic is the healing system, which feels very Souls-like. You get a limited number of healing potions that can be restored at rest points, which are also where you save your game and customize your build. What I loved here is how these rest points are thoughtfully placed, especially near boss rooms. You don't have to deal with long, annoying runs back when you're just trying to focus on learning a boss's patterns. One thing that really stood out to me is how the game introduces new mechanics. Every time you unlock a new ability, there's a brief animation that explains how it works. Then you're immediately placed in an area designed to ease you into using that ability. It's such a smart and seamless way to teach the player, and it makes mastering each new mechanic feel intuitive and satisfying. The difficulty is mostly balanced, though there were a few spikes. I ran into some pesky rats early on that felt overpowered, but the devs quickly patched them in a hotfix. Some areas can feel tough if you don't have the right ability equipped. It adds a strategic layer to how you approach challenges, but at times it can feel like your build's hamstrung a bit, needing to use one of your loadout slots for a special ability that might help you take on an area with more ease. The controls deserve special praise. They're responsive and smooth. Whether you're dodging enemy attacks or tackling a tricky platforming section, the game feels snappy and precise. This is especially noticeable in the more intense platforming areas where tight controls can make or break the experience. Overall, the game stays engaging throughout. There's always something new to discover, whether it's a new biome, a unique enemy, or an ability that changes how you traverse the map. And let me tell you, there's a deep satisfaction in turning those gray areas of the map into blue, knowing you've fully explored and uncovered all its secrets. One last thing to mention here, I didn't run into any bugs or glitches during my playtime, and the devs seem to be active too, already hotfixing the game since I've been playing it, adding some balancing and quality of life updates. Visually, Ender Magnolia is stunning. The game's set in a post-apocalyptic kingdom, blending ruined, dreary environments with bursts of vibrant, striking colors. Each biome feels distinct, and the hand-painted backgrounds do a phenomenal job of immersing you in the world. What impressed me most was how consistent the art style is. Everything from the NPC portraits to the enemies and environments feels cohesive and clean. It's clear that a lot of thought went into making the world not only beautiful but also thematically unified. Animations are another highlight. Movement and combat animations are fluid, and even zone transitions are seamless. For example, you can start a dash in one zone and cross into another and continue the dash without any hiccups. It's small details like this that show the level of polish in the game. Cutscenes are used sparingly but effectively. These usually appear at major story beats or after defeating a boss. They reveal snippets of characters' memories or events from the past, adding layers to the world building. I found these cutscenes to be a real treat. They're visually unique and feel like a reward for progressing through the main game. The sound and music in Ender Magnolia do a solid job of supporting the game's atmosphere. The soundtrack leans toward calming and subtle. It never feels intrusive, but it also doesn't stand out as particularly memorable. That said, it does fit the tone of the game well, complementing the mix of melancholy and wonder in the environments. There are no voiceovers, but the characters have enough personality in their design and dialogue to stand out. Sound effects are generally well done, though there are a few that felt a bit too loud by default. For example, lightning-based attacks or the electrocution status effect can be a little jarring. Fortunately, the game offers volume sliders to tweak the audio to your liking. One moment that really stood out to me was exploring a zone where the music completely stops. All you hear is the sound of rain, and it's absolutely mesmerizing. Moments like this show how the game can use sound, or the absence of it, to enhance immersion. I do consider the music to be the weakest part of the game. It's not bad by any means, but combined with the world building and graphics and art, I feel like a soundtrack more akin to something like Ori and the Blind Forest would make this game an undisputable home run. If you're a fan of subtle, atmospheric storytelling, you're going to love what Ender Magnolia has to offer. The narrative's delivered through a mix of cutscenes, companion conversations, item descriptions, and environmental details. It's the kind of game that rewards paying attention to the small things. The characters and story arcs are engaging, though not overly elaborate. For example, you might find an item with flavor text hinting at a boss's backstory, or have a conversation with your party at a rest point that reveals more about their motivations. It's not about delivering a grand, sprawling narrative, but rather about painting a picture of the world and its history, piece by piece. The storytelling style is reminiscent of Dark Souls or Hollow Knight, with a focus on mood and world building over exposition. It's a slow burn, but it's deeply satisfying if you enjoy unraveling mysteries and piecing together lore. At $25 Ender Magnolia delivers excellent value. A main playthrough will take you about 16 to 17 hours, and a completionist run can push that closer to 20. For the quality of the experience, it's absolutely worth the price. There are multiple difficulty settings, including hardcore and hitless modes, which are great for players looking to challenge themselves. Additionally, the variety of abilities and equipment means you can experiment with different builds in subsequent playthroughs. The game's non-linear design adds even more replay value. Each stage of the game gives you branching options for which area to tackle first, making every run feel a little different. Personally, I found myself hooked from the very first session. It's one of those games that I've promised myself I'll see through to the end, and I can easily see myself revisiting it in the future. So here's the bottom line. Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist is a beautifully crafted Metroidvania with smooth gameplay, stunning visuals, and a subtle yet engaging story. The tight controls make exploration and combat satisfying, and the world's packed with secrets waiting to be uncovered. While the soundtrack isn't the game's strongest point, it does its job well enough to support the atmosphere. With a reasonable price tag, solid replayability, and a high level of polish, Ender Magnolia is a must-play for fans of the genre. What about you? Have you played Ender Magnolia yet? If so, what did you think about it? And if not, what's your favorite Metroidvania? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more indie game reviews. I'll catch you in the next one.